What's up, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Baseballogy. My name is Ryan Evans, and I have been gone for a very long time, and I am truly sorry about that. If I must be honest, 2021 sucked, and it, definitely hit way harder than Vladdy does baseballs. Let me see if I can fix this camera just a little bit so you guys can actually see me. I just got this. So I am trying to start this channel back up, and I'm trying to do a slightly different twist to the channel than what I did last year. This year I will be streaming everything on MLB The Show 21 and 22 when it comes out on April 1st. Second, fixing the camera again. I kind of don't have a good place to put it. But yeah, so I'll be streaming and recording everything on MLB The Show 21 and 22 when it comes out on April 1st. For the first couple of months leading up to the season, there may not be as much to talk about, but I will try to stream regardless. I'm debating adding a trivia element to the streams because I absolutely love trivia, and I've been trying to get that going for a while. The plan right now is to give a day-by-day breakdown of MLB games and stuff while also playing this very fun game of MLB The Show. One thing to note is that I'm definitely not the best at the show, but hopefully the other content will keep people tuned in and etc. Alright, so let's go. With that very long introduction out of the way, let's get into what we need to talk about today, and that would be a pre-season breakdown of what we think about the 2022 MLB season. When I say that, I mean I'm not going to go, hopefully not going to go in too deep of depth with each team, not with each, I will try to give my in-depth opinions on the general overview of the season, every MLB team as a whole, not going into the Tigers, not every single team, if that makes sense. So obviously we are still in the midst of a lockout, which means that the season could possibly be delayed a bit, which means my normal stuff won't be really happening until the normal start of the season. Okay, so a major part of the MLB season, spring training, would usually start in about a week or two, but supposedly that's looking unlikely because the MLB does not want to. They don't want to agree with the MLB players. On one hand, you could say that the MLB players are being kind of babies, but on the other, you could say that just the MLB, the owners and all that, are just not really being helpful. They don't want to negotiate pretty much. So so with that, we can actually kind of talk about one thing that I really wanted to talk about, which is all of the signings that have been made so far this offseason. But I assume plenty more to come after the actual lockout ends. So I will just go team by team and just give the general big guys that have gone to different teams. Some major names, some kind of minor. So first, the Tigers get Tucker Barnhart, Eduardo Rodriguez, and Javier Baez. The Dodgers get Andrew Heaney, and they get Chris Taylor back. The Braves get Manny Pena and Kirby Yates. The Angels get Noah Syndergaard, Aaron Luke, and Raisel Iglesias. The White Sox so far have only gotten Kendall Graveman. The Cardinals have only gotten Steven Matz. The Red Sox have got Michael Wacha, James Paxton, Rich Hill, and Jackie Bradley Jr. So pretty much what the Red Sox are trying to do is make this 40-plus-year-old team. It's it's almost like a men's league for old guys that can still throw it harder than 90 miles an hour. The Mets get Eduardo Escobar, Mark Canha, Max Scherzer, and Starling Marte. The Mariners get Adam Frazier and Robbie Ray. Astros get Hector Neris. Rangers get Marcus Semien, John Gray, Cole Calhoun, and Corey Seager. The Marlins get Avisail Garcia, Jacob Stallings, and Joey Wendell. The Rays get Corey Kluber and Brooks Raley. Cubs get Yan Gomes and Marcus Stroman. Padres get Jorge Alfaro and Nick Martinez. The Giants get Alex Cobb. And then finally, the Diamondbacks get Mark Melancon. Now let's get into some really fancy stuff. If you're like if you're one of those like degenerates like I am, looking for like a really great odds on something that may be kind of a long shot, I would say definitely look at the Texas Rangers here. On one hand, you might say that they won't be able to win the AL West against the Angels, the Mariners, the Stros, and the A's. You might say that the Rangers still lack pitching depth. That might be true. In fact, it might definitely be true. The Rangers have not really built anything else in terms of pitching, but they have gone out and they've gotten like Corey Seager. They've gotten let's see who else. They got Marcus Semien, Cole Calhoun, Corey Seager for guys that can hit the ball. They did get John Gray, so I mean, who knows where he'll be bumped up to in the starting rotation, but I think he'll be at least he'll at least be the number 2 guy. I would think. So the Rangers right now to win the American League West are plus 3,000 on FanDuel, which basically means if you're trying to think about this in simple terms. If you bet $100 on the Rangers to win the division, you win $3,000. Now, I mean, like, it's obviously going to be a long shot, right? That's kind of why I was saying I think it's a good bet for someone for something that would be a heavy long shot. Out of the entire American League West, I think the Rangers have easily made the best moves, and I think that out of all the teams, they would have. I think they somehow have somewhat of a chance. I think it's crazy. I think it probably won't happen, but I somehow could see it. I would even say in the entire American League, I don't know. It just depends. It depends if they can go and get more pitching depth as soon as the lockout ends. I think if they go and get some more pitching depth, then they might have a solid chance.
Standing in now, Hank Aaron. And that gets him on the mound.
I had him right in there. Still probably going to get one of the guys out. Okay, so yeah, so I would so if you know what a parlay is, that means just like multiple hits. Let's say you parlay the Rangers to win the division with the Mets, the Cardinals, the Dodgers, the White Sox, and the Rays. You can put $10 to win 17,864. So the reason I mentioned those other picks is because I'm picking those as the division winners in all of the other divisions. Maybe switching out the Dodgers with the Padres. It just depends. I kind of like the Padres like plus 200 to win the division. I think so let's go into why I believe for some of those division winners. The reason I think the Mets win the division is because of the numerous free agent signings they've made, picking up Escobar, Canha, Scherzer, and Marte, / possibly more. They're definitely going to get Jacob DeGrom back at some point, early on in the season, hopefully. This team should look very solid. Admittedly, I think it's going to be closer than, I think the National League East is going to be closer than some people imagine. The Braves are probably going to be second place in their division, coming off a World Series championship. I think it's a solid prediction. Like if you're going with anything, I would say the Mets probably win division. Braves definitely should. I honestly believe it's a toss-up between them and the Brewers. Brewers are going to be a really good team this year, saying that they are keeping, I believe they're keeping Corbin Burns and Brandon Woodruff. I think the Cardinals are going to get better this year because they are getting more experienced as the days go on. Guys like Tyler O'Neill, Dylan Carlson, Harrison Bader are, I think they're just going to keep getting better. Oh my god, can I seriously just give that up? Oh my god. See, this is why I said I'm not that good at this game. And stupid crap like that happens all the time to me. Now, come on. I think I just gave that up to, like, at least my people. That's not awesome.
To the plate now, Phil Gosselin. As the first pitch to him is swung on and missed for strike one. Fouled off. 2 out, nobody on. Swing and a miss. He struck him out, and that'll do it here as the ball game is over.
Well, that's a
can't really check with the.
And said, "Hey, we're taking over," and that's exactly what they did. The stronghold is theirs.
And the score finishes 4-1.
We check with the
Amsterdam
comments.
Jumped out to an early lead in the first and never looked back. Corbin Burns is the winning pitcher of record. Alex Cobb worked only 3 innings in the losing effort. So that'll just about do it for us this afternoon. For Mark DeRosa, Dan Blizak, and our entire crew.
Oh yeah, back to what I was saying. So yeah, I think the Cardinals are probably going to win the division this year. If anything, I think the Cardinals and Milwaukee are going to be 2 really close teams that I think are going to finish. If anything, they're going to finish like maybe 2 or like 3 games, of a difference between each other. I think it's going to be actually a really fun year to watch for the National League Central. Now we're going to go talk about the National League West. I think now I know I put the Padres to win the National League West this year, but it's hard to just say that the Dodgers aren't going to do it, because even though they lost Matt Scherzer, even though they lost Corey Seager, the Dodgers are still the Dodgers, and they still have Cody Bellinger, they still have Mookie Betts. They got Chris Taylor back again, so maybe he kind of has the same year that he just had the year before. They are going to get Trevor Bauer back for them, I think, most likely. I don't think he's going to be suspended, so I think he'll be coming back at the beginning of the season. And, I mean, if you just think about it, the Dodgers' rotation is definitely one of the most deadly rotations in the MLB. Next to what I think I would say the Mets and the Braves are going to have like 2 of the best rotations in the MLB. So now that we talked about the National League and my predictions for the National League, let's talk about the American League. In the American League East, we have the Rays winning, simply just because I think that they're just going to get better. They have rookies that are coming up. They had Wander Franco come up last year, who made a really big debut. But on top of Wander Franco, they got guys like Vidal Brujan. They got guys like Shane Baz, Xavier Edwards, Brendan McKay. I think they're going to be one of those teams that are just... they have a few guys that are just going to be like a few older guys that can kind of help coach the younger guys. Like I think they still have Nelson Cruz, right? So I think Nelson Cruz is kind of going to help those guys like Wander Franco and etc. etc. The only team I could see keeping it close this year in the American League East, because I'm going to fade the Blue Jays and the Red Sox. So I'm going to fade those two teams. So the only two teams in the American League East that I could see winning are the Yankees and the Rays. I think the Yankees are going to be a wild card team because they almost always have top tier talent like Garrett Cole, Giancarlo Stanton, DJ LeMahieu. If you're looking at something like I was looking at today, you would see that, where is it? Let's see. Aaron Judge for the Yankees, according to Baseball Savant, according to StatCast, had the highest average exit velocity in the MLB. And I mean, I think it goes to say that he had a good year also last year. So I think maybe he kind of stepped up his game a little bit from what it was before. I mean, he's always been that good, but I just think last year he did a really good job of just continuously improving and just being a better player, being a better power threat than. Excuse me. Alright, but yeah, I think the Rays and the Yankees are probably the only two teams that I could see winning the American League East. Going into the American League Central, I don't even think this is going to be. I don't even think this is a debate at all. I think the American League Central is just easily going to be run by the Chicago White Sox. I don't care that the Tigers got Javier Baez. I don't care that the Royals have Salvi. I don't care that the Indians changed their name to the Guardians. The White Sox are winning this division. And minus 200 for the White Sox to win the American League Central seems like, honestly, it just seems like pretty easy money. It may not be much money unless you're betting like Mattress Mac and you're betting like $5 million on the Bengals to win. But I still think it's easy money. White Sox I would say by at least 5 games should be pretty easy.
Next up is Babe Ruth.
The Indians are probably going to be the second place team because I don't think the Royals made too many improvements to make themselves like a better team. They still have Salvi, but there is no Salvador Perez in. I was going to say something probably cringy, but my point is Salvi can't be the entire team. Javi Baez can't be the entire Tigers team. And I think the Tigers are a team that's improving because they're one of the younger teams in the MLB still. So I think they are improving. I think they're going to get better. But the White Sox have been really good, and they're just probably going to get way better.
Danny takes a pitch right down the middle. This one's flared off to the right
get
side.
this.
And Vlad will put
All right.
this one away for route number 1.
Going on to the American League West, I kind of gave a little bit about the American League West before, kind of how I think it is. I don't genuinely think the Rangers are going to win it because I still think they still have a few holes that are kind of just too big to fill, which are just pitching mostly. I feel like pitching for them is just one of the biggest holes. They got John Gray, but he's not a Cy Young winner, so I mean he's not gonna. I don't think he's gonna make that big of a difference.
Swing and a high drive to right center field. Splash right into the pool.
I hate myself. Should just walk
Into
him.
the box now. Carson Keller as the first pitch to
I hate
him.
this pitch.
Hold strike 1.
Not really,
Looking to
but
get on base and keep this first inning alive.
I gotta have a better. When I'm playing CPU games, my pitch sequence kind of sucks. My pitch locations kind of suck because I kind of play it pretty lazily. But yeah, like I said before, I think the AL West could be somehow won by the Texas Rangers, but with their inability at the pitching position, maybe things go slightly different. I don't really think they're going to win just because they kind of have too many holes at pitching. I think the Astros are obviously going to be that team that wins the American League West because they still have most of their pieces, if not all of their pieces. They still have Gurriel, they still have as of right now, they still have Carlos Correa. They still have Altuve. Brantley, did he move anywhere? I don't remember. But for the most part, I'm pretty sure their entire team is still intact. So if there's any, I don't know, man. It's just it might be. I'm thinking this division might be a lot closer than usual. Like usually you have the Astros just absolutely tearing it apart. You know, they're winning the division by 6 games or something. This year I think you're gonna have a lot closer race between the Astros, the Angels, the Mariners, the A's, and probably most likely it's gonna be last place Rangers or 4th place Rangers or something. But you know, that's just kind of what I think about how this season's gonna go.
And a changeup swung on and missed for the first out. Nick Ahmed comes on with 1 gone here as he looks at a called strike 1. Looks like he swung it underwater that time for strike 2.
I should put more focus into trying to win this game instead of just talking about what I want to talk about.
Tried to get him to go after one below the knees, but it's 1-2.
Well, that's a pitch right there. You've got to just lay off. There's a good chance he's going to throw it on 0-2. If he can recognize it starting down in the zone, you know it's only going to go down from there.
Haven Smith is at the plate as he looks at ball 1. A ball and 2 strikes now.
2 strikes.
Did a good job to shorten up and protect the plate, and he'll have another shot at it here. Ready with the 1-2. This is on the ground over to first. Throw in time, and the side is retired.